I know why Jamal was killed. It's because of me.
As the documentary The Dissident makes clear, Omar Abdulaziz came to Canada to save his own life and speak openly. But it doesn't make him free. It now makes him lonely, living with the twin burdens of guilt and fear.
Some people would tell me, it's not your mistake, it's not your fault, but the guilt is killing me. I want to be honest with you.
Guilt because he's worried it was his relationship with Jamal Khashoggi that helped lead to the murder of the outspoken Saudi critic in a consulate in Turkey more than 2 years ago. The two men had been communicating, both Saudis in exile, both afraid of one day being harmed for their criticisms of Mohammed bin Salman. They leaned on each other, talked, exchanged messages. Jamal sending Omar money to help with his work exposing the regime. And as the documentary outlines in sad details,
Told me, no. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go to them.
Jamal was adamant that Omar be very suspicious of the Saudi officials who showed up in Montreal a few years ago. He begged Omar, do not listen to their urgings to return to Saudi Arabia. Was especially serious that Omar not follow their instructions to go to the Saudi embassy in Ottawa to get documents.
And they told me, it's only to renew your passport. Please, just come with us. We don't know what was waiting for us there. I refused. They went back to Saudi. 6 weeks later, they hacked my phone. So they had the ability to listen to every single phone call that I was making. They had the ability to read my conversations with Jamal Khashoggi and other activists. And they were spying on Canadian people.
That was the summer of 2018. The Saudi hackers tracked Omar throughout Montreal, every communication tapped into. Then they went after all close to him, anything to shut him up.
They tortured my brothers, my friends, and they were blackmailing me using my own private messages, photos, information. I didn't cooperate with them again. Few weeks later, by the 2nd of October, they killed Jamal Khashoggi.
The murder happened inside the Saudi consulate in Turkey. Jamal's body never to be found. Omar still cannot understand why his friend went inside after warning him against doing the same thing in Canada. The woman waiting for Jamal Khashoggi for nearly 12 hours was Hatice Cengiz, his fiance. He had gone in to get documents for their marriage. For 2 years, she's fought for accountability, but to open up for the documentary was a big decision.
Nice to meet you, Adrienne.
Nice to meet you. Her conversation with us was her first North American broadcast interview. She wants to be heard.
I was living the darkness on my own in my life and in my heart. Now I believe that people around the world will feel the same thing with me, like I'm sharing my pain with the world.
The pain of that staggering murder and the extent of the Saudi cover-up. Are you a bit surprised that nothing seems to have happened to the killers of Jamal?
There is no real accountability and there is no real act against the killers inside Saudi Arabia and pressure from any government.
After years of American coziness with Saudi Arabia, there are promises of change from a Biden administration, including a promise to declassify the report into Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Hatice heard many promises to stand with her, including from the likes of Jeff Bezos, who, as owner of the Washington Post, was Jamal Khashoggi's employer, a man who had also been hacked and hounded by the Saudis.
We are here, and you are not alone.
And yet you will not find the documentary The Dissident on Bezos' Amazon streaming service. It's not on Netflix either. Fear of Saudi reprisals, perhaps? Wouldn't be the first time that happened. And the story of the threat to dissidents didn't stop with Jamal's murder. Just weeks after he was killed, a team of assassins reportedly tried to get into Canada to kill another prominent Saudi critic, Saad al-Jabri, who fled to this country just like Omar did. Quick-thinking border guards thought something was suspicious and stopped the men from entering Canada.
Thank God that we live in a decent place, in a decent country. We're not in a banana republic, or I would be killed. Mr. Saad al-Jabri would be killed. So I'm really worried about Saudi dissidents who live here in Canada.
Do you have any feeling that they're still up to something with you?
A few months ago, I received a phone call from the RCMP. They were telling me that you are a potential target. And I was contacted by different journalists around the world. They're telling me that they received some confirmed news that MPS is going to keep doing what he's doing.
And so this is life now for Omar Abdulaziz. 23 of his family and friends arrested back in Saudi Arabia, some begging him to stop his criticism of the regime.
In the past, I was filming with only me and a cameraman.
He won't. He's only getting louder.
And now I can imagine millions watching this.
The truth always wins.
And Hatice Cengiz, without her love,
Please take action. Thank you.
still without justice for her love, but determined to believe that in the telling of the truth, no one forgets what happened to Jamal Khashoggi.